What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and we've got some interesting news out of the world of DC Comics. Batman White Knight is a new miniseries starting with writer and artist Sean Gordon Murphy at the helm, and it is a 7-issue miniseries that will focus on Batman and the Joker in a way that we've never seen before. So Batman White Knight is going to see Joker being cured of his psychosis, and he is going to be the new hero of Gotham City. Very interesting take, and I, for one, am actually okay with it. I've read a little bit about it, both on DC's website and a couple different articles that have been posted. I've seen a lot of comments, I've seen some Twitter tweets, and some friends on Facebook just talking about it, and everybody seems to be pretty negative, but I love the fact that this is not canon, so it's not official, it's not something that's going to stick. It's basically just a what-if story, and I'm not going to lie, it's something that I would love to see. Here's a quote from Murphy. "We know Joker's a genius, we know he's relentless, and we know he can play the crowd, so why not make him a politician? Why not strip away the psychosis, the thing that's holding him back, and let him challenge Batman unimpeded? And to make it even scarier, what if he did it legally and without breaking any rules, so that Batman couldn't stop him?" So he's going to be in Gotham City as Jack. I don't know about a last name, but he is cured. He's not crazy anymore, and I think that's a very apt description of him. He's a genius. And now, instead of seeing him, doing it out of mania, like using his brain, his powers, if you will, towards mania and destruction and mischief, we're going to see him put it towards good use, quote unquote. Here's another quote from Murphy. "Seeing Gotham for the first time with clear eyes, his psychosis now cured, he starts to understand the absurdity of vigilantism and how Batman's actions are only contributing to Gotham's endless crime cycle. Joker sets out to beat Batman by becoming the White Knight that Gotham really needs." So it should be interesting. The picture in the thumbnail we see, and right here, shows Joker without all of his makeup and get-up with Harley Quinn. They've reconciled, and he's after who he thinks is truly Gotham's greatest villain, the Batman. So I'm very intrigued by this. The only thing that scares me off a little bit is there's an article on Screen Rant about it, and here is another quote from Murphy. Actually, it was in Wired. "Even a crazed Joker could argue that Batman is making things worse by tormenting the lowest of Gotham. Give Joker his sanity and mastery of rhetoric," Murphy says, "and he is a manipulator in the image of Madman's Don Draper. My main goal was to undo the comic tropes while changing Gotham from a comic book city into a real city, a city dealing with everything from Black Lives Matter to the growing wage gap. Rather than write a comic about the wage gap, I gave those ideas to the Joker, who leads a kind of media war against Gotham's elite by winning people over with his potent observations and rhetoric." One of the things that I've actually loved about DC Comics, that for the best I can tell, I haven't really seen them dipping into a lot of the real world stuff that's going on. I think a lot of people appreciate the comic side of things, and that's the only thing that scares me is focusing on making Gotham a real city. Gotham can never be a real city to me. Gotham is always going to be a comic book city, and that's the way I always want Gotham to be. So I don't know that just saying, oh, well, they're dealing with Black Lives Matter and the wage gap, two real hot button issues, in America anyway today. I don't know that suddenly introducing those ideas is going to change all that much about Gotham, but I don't like the idea of it being real. I like that fantasy world where people that are part bat fly around the city, or that are part crocodile. Like that aspect of comic books matters to me, and I don't I don't want to see them kind of do what Marvel has done and try to like mix in some of their own, you know, political beliefs. I hope that's not what this turns into. I don't think it is. I think he's really just using those as examples, but it definitely made me perk my eye a little bit. I love the fact that we are going to see the Joker this way, because we've never really seen it. We've never seen the Joker as anything but just a devious mastermind, and now we're going to see him, you know, more in the way of a Lex Luthor than the Joker, you know? And I'm really intrigued by it, you know? I think it's going to be pretty good, and I'm at least going to give it a chance. I really can't wait for it to hit, and I thought I would run this out there by you guys and see what you guys think. What do you think of the idea of the Joker no longer being crazy, Harley Quinn going back to being Harleen Quinzel and, you know, being the smoke show that she is, and being normal again, you know, and still using their brains, but now towards good use? I hope there's not a twist. I'm intrigued to see what happens, you know? I think it's a really interesting take, and the best part about it is it's not canon. It's purely a fantasy. It's a purely what if, and that's the best way to approach it. Instead of, you know, saying, you know, Jane Foster is Thor, it's what if Jane Foster was Thor. I think those are two different things, and you know, it's just an example off the top of my head. So we'll see what happens. I would definitely be very intrigued to hear what you guys have to say. The Joker as the good guy, not crazy. This should be out October 4th, so look for it then, and I'll see you. Let me know what you think.
You're a real downer, man.
I'll put a smile on that puss.